So autoimmune diseases are actually complex diseases in the sense that there's both a genetic component and what we call an environmental component. The environmental factors, this is sort of an umbrella term for anything that you could be exposed to, for example, infections you may have encountered, the type of food you eat, or the kind of climate you live in. And it's a complex problem because these factors will affect not only how the T cells expand, but also what types of molecular programs they actually acquire. The key parts of the immune system that is involved in all of these are cells that are called T cells. You may have heard about those already in class. And so what T cells are able to do, they're able to monitor the environment in the body and the surface of other cells for the presence of certain proteins or parts of proteins. And that those proteins can be from a foreign invader, let's say a virus, but they can also be from self-proteins. And this is actually one of the traits of the immune system. So you have a very powerful system where T cells can basically recognize anything, any kind of structure. And of course, there's going to be similarity between the foreign molecules and the self molecules.
The simple explanation for what the immune system does is distinguishes self from non-self. But it's actually a lot more complex than that, isn't it? There are several instances where the immune system might get tricked into seeing self, but thinking that it's in a context of an infection. One of the things that researchers look into in this field is sort of understanding what are those conditions that can sort of trick a T cell into seeing what is essentially a harmless self-protein, but thinking that it came from a virus or a bacterium. And what tends to define one autoimmune disease from another really has to do with what tissue, what organ, what part of the body are these T cells responding to erroneously. And so if it's multiple sclerosis, then you have the immune system attacking central nervous system antigens. If we're talking about diabetes, then you'll have the immune system attacking cells in the pancreas that they shouldn't be attacking. We're lucky to be doing science in a time now when we understand that, drugs target molecules and molecules interact with each other in a cell, and if we can just understand how all of those processes work, we don't have to be working at a clinical level to do something that ends up being clinically relevant.
I would actually claim that most of the breakthrough treatments in human diseases have come from a basic understanding of how things work, and then realizing that these molecules could be used as drug targets.
So we've told you that we study a lot about how lymphocytes get activated and about how these receptors that live at the cell surface actually communicate information into the cell. What that's really about is understanding what turns lymphocytes on and what makes T cells go and do their job in the body. So what I want you to think about is how understanding that at a really basic level might affect lots of different diseases. And so you might think about vaccines and about cancer or about allergies, and think about where T cells play a role in that and why they need to know what's going on in their environment.